And I think we're live. Hi, everyone. Please let me know if you can see and hear me clearly. And welcome to yet another of our weekly webinars. If it's your first time joining me in the Wednesday webinars, let me just let you know briefly that every week, same time, same day, we usually I run these free webinars on independent teaching, and usually I pick a topic based on teachers' needs and communications and talks we have within the independent teachers community. Oh, I see we have one viewer already. Please let me know if you can see and hear me clearly, and say hello in the comments. And in the meantime, I'm going to check if we are streaming both in YouTube and Facebook. If you would like your name to be displayed during the live, please allow wave video. Or maybe if you're just on YouTube, I think you're going to be good to go. Yeah, I'm going to be able to see your name and comments. Okay, let me check on YouTube. It seems that, let me just double check. Okay, we are live. Okay, good. Wonderful. Hi, Jay. Thank you for saying hello. I see Jay says hello in the comments. Cool. Thank you. Good to know you can hear and see me clearly. I know today is like the International Labor's Day, right? Maybe not in every country, but I still, stick to the schedule. Like our regular Wednesday webinar is going to be today. And no matter when you're tuning in, maybe after the live, no matter when you're tuning in, hello to you as well, and just I hope you will get some good value from today's webinar. Jay says you said to say hello in the comments. Yeah, thanks. Thank you for that. Okay, without a further ado, I think we are good to go. I just need to check if everything looks okay in the Facebook groups, because just recently Facebook actually discontinued the option to have a live in a group. Okay, I can see myself. All good. Okay, so today we're going to talk about how to actually create class offers that our students won't be able to resist. Or in other words, I like to say, today's webinar is going to be all about how to never get a no as an answer. In a way, to always be able to offer some services to prospective students and still, offer the value and still get the student on board so that it fits your goals and actually expectations from your own independent teaching business. For those of you watching maybe later and are not familiar with me, just a quick intro. My name is Ivy. I'm a special educator, and I've been teaching online since 2016. I first taught within Vietnamese and Japanese schools teaching adults, and then I switched to Chinese companies teaching kids. And after the China crash, it's been almost 3 years now, I started teaching independently in 2021. And since then, I've been basically offering one-on-one classes. And just recently, I started experimenting and thinking about offering group classes and subscription programs to kind of diversify my class offer. And this webinar is inspired by the fact that many of us fellow online teachers do come from companies, meaning that we are most of the time, we just got used to just offering, 25-minute one-on-one classes. And there were a few schools such as Whale English offering small group classes of 40 minutes or 45 minutes. But other than that, I think not many teachers, unless they were teaching brick and mortar, right, in actual schools, do have experience offering different kinds of class types and, actually leading the class in kind of different ways. And Maybe it's all about skills, maybe it's just the experience, or maybe, with companies it was just much easier to show up, know what was expected of you, have everything organized and set, and at the set class price we used to agree on, and then just show up and teach kind of vibe. Let's see, I think we have a comment in Facebook as well. Yes, good. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna share the link as well, because some teachers are asking for it. Just give me a moment, and then no more distraction. I promise. We'll just grab the live link. And in the meantime, let me know in the comment what kind of classes do you currently teach. Are you just teaching like one-on-one 25-minute classes, or you already have some kind of different offer, um, and practice established? Let me just share the link here. Sorry, because I see some teachers are tuning in now. Okay, because okay. Keeping on track and focused. Oh, hi, Katie. Welcome. Awesome. I was just checking, to see if everything looks okay. And I noticed, like in Facebook, I didn't see the stream. So, yeah, no matter the fact that we're just streaming on YouTube, I will make sure to share the video and the preview, actually, the replay afterwards as well. Katie says, looking forward to the webinar. You always have so many great insights. Thank you, Katie. Thanks so much. I was just saying like how inspired I am by our talks, like teacher talks and everything in between. And so, today we're just going to talk and focus about creating class offers that our students can't resist, and meaning like how to actually find a way to onboard each and every prospective student. Hi, Angie. Wow, good. Tuning in. Awesome. Jay says he offers one-on-one 25 and 50-minute classes. Cool. And a few group classes. That would be interesting to talk more about and to explore. Wonderful. I hope my screen is big enough so you can actually see everything. Okay. Let's jump straight into it. So I mentioned like before, like I expect a lot of teachers tuning in today to have an actual experience teaching with companies, meaning we are used to offering like a certain type of classes, right? But other than that, no matter if you have experience or not, you should know like the picture is much more broader than that. So you can actually offer one-on-one classes in any kind of format, like it can be 25, 40, 45-minute class, however you want to go about it. And you can offer them in class packages. You can offer group classes, as Jay mentioned before, he already offers some. And they can be one-time groups or ongoing groups. Sorry. You can also think about offering programs. That means either curriculum-based or skill-based or topic-based programs you could offer to your students. Then you could sell subscription-based classes, meaning monthly subscriptions with steady income and more kind of actually less uncertainty and more predictability, right? When it comes to monthly income. You can then offer self-paced courses, meaning you can build your own resources and organize them into mini courses for passive income to work for you in your sleep. You can also offer memberships, by which I meant developing your own resource libraries full of, worksheets and things you develop along the way, of teaching. I'm sure like a lot of us do have some kind of a resource jar somewhere that we build up during, teaching online. And the membership can also be hybrid, meaning you can offer both live classes combined with some kind of self-paced learning assignments or mini courses. And what you can do is you can offer ready-made classes, meaning you could record yourself teaching and then, of course, also using your own material and sell those. Let me know if yeah, there is something interesting on this list that you would like to try and you're actually thinking of exploring. Um, Katie says, I think you can share to Facebook. Yeah, Facebook changed their policies to ban third party. Yes, I just remembered that. So I just shared the YouTube link. So it's okay. I see we have 5 or 6 teacher friends tuned in. Awesome. Excited to see that. Wonderful. So this fact itself should be mind blowing already, right? If you do not have any teaching experience, or if you are coming from, that kind of rigid X company idea of what teaching online independently means, right? So when you go indie, it means there is no rules to the structure of the class and to the class offer you can create, right? And that also means you can be a lot more creative and incorporate your other skills into creating your unique class offer. And now, how to actually create? I was just, contemplating on that idea, how to find a sweet spot teaching online independently. So whenever we get a prospective student, they say, "This sounds interesting. I would like to try," or "I'm in." Without a lot of, um, going back and forth and lowering your prices and everything. And I think that creating class prices and peers that our prospective students won't resist requires striking the exact balance, that balance between offering the value and affordability while aligning with our business goals and market demands, right? And I was thinking like about X companies again, who did offer the whole package of learning experience, preview materials, after class practice, class recordings, games, readers, whatnot, right? And we are just a single teacherpreneurs. Like we are teachers doing everything unless we subscribe to an amazing curriculum such as Abridge Academy. So we are saved, with all the material and can provide an actual similar experience similar to what students were used to, learning with companies, and that can influence on your price as well. But that also means if you do not want to put any effort or energy into recording classes, sending files back and forth, um, creating your own teaching material or worksheets or assigning homework or anything like that, you can actually create different class offers that are going to be suitable for different students and their budgets, right? So that means it's good to think about diversifying your actual prices because time is also money, right? So think about the prep time you put into let's say you already have established prices, and if you could save some time and for that time teach more, fit in one more class for a little bit lower price, that could be a good strategy, with less like after class and pre-class work and preparation and whatnot, communication with the students. So I've created a list of kind of top tips. This is like just based on my experience as a platform teacher and an independent teacher and someone who is the founder of Super Teacher, where there are like hundreds of teachers registered offering different kinds of classes. And, I have the insight into that. And also based on communicating with teacher friends such as Katie and Jay and many other teachers. I find like this little list of top tips for creating the best class offer for your business. And the emphasis here, the accent is on your business, first of all, right? Because there is no formula that's going to work for everybody because we have to take ourselves into account, right? When creating the actual class offer, what we bring into the actual offer, what value comes from us being, maybe a native speaker or not, having this accent or that accent. Everything is in play here, right? Living in that kind of country or not, targeting that audience or the other one, everything is in play here. So the first tip I would have, like, please don't think I have to, this is not a critic, like don't. I just think it's very important. It's easier to kind of train ourselves to do those things, to save yourself some time in advance, right? Don't assume, ask. Imagine like you just heard like you're new to independent online teaching and you heard like, ooh, Chinese market is awesome. They pay the most and everything, you know. And then you find out the prices are like students are willing to pay anywhere between 25 to even 40, $50 an hour per class, right? And you go for it. And then what happens? Usually that's not enough, right? So you first have to gather information on what you actually, who actually, you first have to ask yourself, where do you want to get with this independent teaching journey? Are you just looking to, add an hour or two a day, a student or two, and you're going to be happy with that? Are you looking for turning your independent teaching into a full-time job, maybe? um, I personally am thinking of, filling up my schedule the same as it was with companies before. And I just figured, like, why wouldn't that be possible? I personally have 13 private students. I do want to add 5 or 6 more, but why not actually, teach full time? I used to be teaching like 6 hours a day, and that was my full schedule. And I was earning at least like 2.5 thousand dollars, and that's a lot. That was like my top income as a teacher, just sitting at home. And for the price of like the top price I was paid was no bigger than $12.5. That's actually the main thing I want to share and discuss today, because I think we really need to look into ourselves and be honest, and like just talk to yourself and tell yourself, like, what do you want to achieve? Like, do you want to have 5 classes a month, I mean a week, and earn the same? Then that's going to be a completely different class offer. Like, you have to bring the value, you have to deliver for that. For somebody to pay you $50, like, you just have to see if you can deliver that, offer, may have a unique offer, add value, think about the perceived value as well. Like, are you qualified for that, top price or whatnot? I'm not saying you're not. Just be, honest and fair, and see. Also, think about the competition and what parents actually have in front of them to explore, and how you can make sure you're gonna get that student is by creating a unique offer to yourself first and foremost that works for you, and then diversifying from that basic offer, and creating different kinds of tiers and offers. Okay, maybe slow down a little bit, but there is a lot to talk about. But I'm just telling you, like, it was totally possible. Gogo Kid was paying about, I mean, it was $10. I was like contracted on $10 per class, but there were bonuses. And then I was paid like 12.5. I think that was the top price. Maybe Wells English or a few companies who were offering group classes had up to $28. But now this is very cheap. Everybody's saying like this is too low, or nobody wants to teach for $12.5. But if I can fill my schedule and earn like never before, like the same I did before. I mean, I'm not saying like lower your prices, but just think about what you want to achieve. If your goal teaching online independently is for it to become a full-time job and to earn well, stable income, and to have a flow of students, you can actually pick from and everything. And if you are targeting countries like China or Korea or Japan, those, Asian countries, like these are prices that they're going to be willing to pay in a blink of an eye, right? But that's like kind of like the lowest. I would say maybe like $15 would be something very reasonable to fill in our schedule instantly. Let me know what you think. I'm not sure everybody's going to agree. It's a little bit provocative, I think. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh, thank you, Katie. I'm assuming that's a support for what I was just saying. I'm just going to take it as it is. Thank you. Yeah, but start with that. Do not assume that everybody's going to pay $50 an hour. And it's just like if you put enough effort, you're going to get there. Maybe you won't. You have to start from yourself. Like, what's your goal? What do you want to achieve with this? Then reach out to the teachers community, search for groups. Some of the very active groups are the ones that Katie runs with WeChat and Xiaohongshu, if you're targeting Chinese market, or Jillian's group that has a huge online teachers community, over like 30,000 or even 40,000 teachers already in, and just sharing tips and everything. So you don't have to start from scratch. Ask around, ask your students, ask your people who you are actually in contact with, or if you do have a student or two you're just starting. Like, just earlier today I was talking to a teacher and she said, Ivy, I'm just starting. Can I use Super Teacher for free until I develop, my independent teaching business? And I was like, of course. And just that you can join these communities and still get a lot of value, speed up your own independent teaching journey significantly, because you can learn from the experience of, fellow teachers. And also be honest with your students. Like, if you do have one or two students, ask them, like, what's your expected rate? What do you expect from these classes? I can offer you just, showing up for class outside without, class recordings, preview, review, blah, 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 everything. And that in that case, find your lowest price and offer that. Or I can, include homework and everything we talked about, and then your price should be, of course, higher, right? Think about the tech side of your independent teaching job, policies, like, have these things figured out in advance. So your price, so you're actually I'm telling this because that's how you will come across as much more professional than somebody who just created maybe a flyer or a social media profile, and then they don't have any systems in place. And once the students reach out, because I'm assuming, like, reaching out is not going to be the problem for us, but actually getting the students and creating the class offer they cannot really refuse, they say no to. So in case of, if you just think about that strategy, when the students reach out to you, maybe have a trial class and they ask about your prices, you can say anywhere between 15 and 25 depending on your needs. And that's opening further communication, right? Then you will hear from the student, learn from them, from the parent or the student, like what they actually expect and need. If you're looking for some kind of list of questions you might want to cover with them, there is a separate live webinar we had before, and I'm going to share the link after the live. I'm going to add a few links under this live so you can check out to find more useful templates and resources. Yeah, and then don't react, act in advance, or be proactive, right? That I wanted to say, be prepared for the frequently asked questions you will probably get from students, such as the one we just mentioned, like, oh, okay, teacher, what's your class price? Right? The worst question, I mean, the question we all dread, right? And sometimes we don't know how to go about it. Or maybe, let me know in the comments, like, maybe you find it easy to just, tell your prices with full transparency. If you have a single price, maybe that's even easier for you to go about it. Yeah. So the way we communicate the value and the prices, there is a lot of questions here to discuss, basically. But yeah, some of them are like, do you actually offer the price in advance, or you just reply with a question like, okay, what are you looking for? Are you looking for a one-on-one class for test prep, or just a conversation class or a group class, and blah blah? There are a lot of things to think about. So try to think about them in advance. Try to ask yourself, and then get the answers beforehand. After this webinar, I'm going to create a list of frequently asked questions I've heard students asking, along with responses, replies that worked for me and some teacher friends that I've been talking to. Let me check the comments. Jay says you can bill separately, right, for homework class recordings. Exactly. I love that. Jay says this is good information. Too many new independent teachers are trying to charge too much in the beginning, right? I totally, Jay, I think I talked to you recently about like, I also work with NovaKid, and NovaKid pay is super low. I want to even mention, but I do still keep working with the company because of my other, uh, project of mine, Super Teacher. So that's how I invest in it. But looking back, I was just paid like, as I mentioned before, Gogo Kid used to pay us like $10, and that was enough for me to even have like 1 month. I think I earned $2,500. I mean $3,500 in a month because I just focused. It was my full time job. 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the Chinese peak time, or four. I mean, it was like 2 morning hours plus four, something like that. That was nothing, like 6 hours a day, no weekends and anything. And it was totally possible. And now we're, having an open market of Chinese students or European students. Trust me, this is nothing. This is a price they're gonna. I just started getting a few of European students, and they are paying me like more than what I was earning with Gogo Kid for a single class. So just think about where you are going with this. Like, do not go after, the way it sounds, the way it could be, but actually the way it can work for you, if you're just kind of real about it. I think, yeah. When we, as you Jay said, like when we start reading comments in the groups and thinking, $1 a minute. That was the standard after the China market crash, and I followed the same, standard. And I'm thinking like it's possible I can even fill my schedule with those, high paying students, but that means more time for me, more, marketing or word of mouth referrals or whatnot, more waiting time primarily. Like if your goal is fill in your schedule quickly, ditch the company like I want to do. In that case, it's completely legit to offer, a lower price, or group classes is what I'm actually thinking of doing for the price of, like way lower than my one-on-one class. The next tip I have for you is don't go with the flow, plan. And that means not plan for your class schedule only, but plan on how to communicate with the student. If they say, so I just use this phrase from, developers language, like if then else. If they say your class, I love you, I love your teaching style, but your class is too expensive, what do? You have to have the answer to that immediately, like in advance. You have to think about it now. Think about that. Like you invest yourself, you subscribe to the most wonderful curriculum such as Average Academy. So that's already an investment. You pay for Qualago, the best classroom for teaching kids. You invest in your props. You organize you get a new device. I mean, I'm seeing all of these things. Teachers are asking, starting from purchasing a laptop for teaching online and headphones and webcam and whatnot, and then actually thinking about these basics. But this is what we all also learn from the experience. It's very raw. The process of onboarding a student is very simple and very raw, and it should be very transparent. But in order to get there, you have to have those systems in place. Like, what do you do if they say, we love your teaching style, but we just can't afford your class? Then you say, okay, how would you like to join my group class? If you have a friend who would like to join, a classmate or someone, you can invite them and split the cost. Start from there. And then you can limit the group. You can say, I can accept up to 4 students in a group, and feel free to, invite 2 more students or friends. And, kind of for you, that means that you can earn even more, right? In a group setting. If they're not into having group classes, think about offering self-paced courses. Like, think about offering maybe even a pre-recorded class. That might be something that takes a lot of time to develop, but it's doable, right? If that's something you do want to invest in, like just devote the time and create some, resources. Sorry. Or you can just offer homework support or maybe a membership. In that case, I think my membership would work well. If the student says they cannot afford your class, single class, you can offer a membership and say, like, once or twice a month, you can share homework with me and I can review it. Or, before the student has a school exam or anything, you just offer your support still. It doesn't have to be live teaching. Or it can be combined, right? One class a month to review the material you are going to be sharing with the parent for independent learning, and then the student could meet. So that might work, right? And that would set you apart from other teachers. Like maybe they will find a teacher who's gonna charge them way less, but having you, on the side, and just to check in with you and to check the student's progress or anything. That sounds like a good concept as well, right? And for you, it's very flexible. Like you can just, um, you know, just limit the communication to maybe once a week or twice a week. They can reach out to you, ask for, homework review or anything, maybe a test review to share tips, or just one meeting a month or something like that. Let me see if we have more comments. Okay, not at the moment. Um, that also means you will be able to stay on track with your business goals. And that means you do not need to accept everybody who comes your way, right? Just recently, I had a mom. Oh my goodness, it was so hard because I love them. They were ex-Go-Go Kid students, a brother and a sister. And the mom was like, Ivy, we want classes with you. We love your teaching style. Like we had last class almost 2 years ago. And she just reached out, and I was like, okay, let's talk about it. What can we do about it? What do you need? And she said her current, teacher is charging them $4 an hour per class. And we got into conversation, like she was convinced that was a native teacher. I said no way, and blah blah blah, yada yada yada. Never mind. But for me, like I was even thinking of offering the class for free if they were willing to, refer students to me. But then I thought, like, if she can't afford it, how about her friends and family members and her circles? And it was just too much for me. But you can do that as well. Like if you have a student that says, I cannot afford, but I can bring you students, can you give a free class to my child? That's also something to think about, right? Especially like in my class, I haven't decided yet. Like I'm gonna get back to them because I don't want to charge them like $4, but I do want maybe to have them refer their friends and family, and maybe because I'm thinking about the group class offer, maybe that can work out for me. She would be super loyal, and we already have the trust built and everything. And for them, it would mean a lot. She already told me, like super honestly, like I just can't afford classes for both of them at the moment. And that means plan for flexibility as well. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. A lot of us learned that with companies before, but that means also do not invest everything you have, all of your time and energy, into just teaching one-on-one classes independently. Like have in mind, please think about offering anything. If you are on social media such as Xiaohongshu, you already are creating some content. So you're maybe doing some content marketing. Think about building up maybe your email list and doing some kind of marketing, or creating a group class that's going to be, your lead magnet or anything. Just think about diversifying and having at least one more income stream. And of course, do not undersell yourself. Know your value, know your bottom line, like the one you cannot cross, and like what's the lowest when it comes to class price you can go. And that's going to make it much easier on you to discuss the prices with the parents. As soon as they reach out, either you have paid or free trial class, it's up to you. But as soon as they ask for prices, you have to ask them back, like, what do you want? And I can offer, a range of class offer from this price to that, depending on your actually needs and expectations and everything. I hope this makes sense. Um, Great tips. Thank you, Katie. Oh, I'm so glad you think so. Angie says, if you create a group class with their friends and include them in it. Oh, sorry. There is a button that's not letting me read. Okay, now I see it. If you create a group class with your friends and include them in it, You can give their tuition for free. Yeah, give them their tuition for free. This way, it doesn't cost you any extra. I love that. That's an actually a brilliant idea. Have you tried it already? And yeah, I think I've heard of that strategy. Yeah. And those students tend to stay very long with teachers who do that because they appreciate what you're doing for them, and they just always are on the hunt for new students for you to to share their appreciation, right? Katie, hi Katie. No, it's okay. I sent the email late again. Katie says, "Hi, forgot what time this webinar was starting, so just getting in now. We'll catch the first 30 or so minutes later." Yeah, yes, that's good. The replay is going to be available as soon as it's over. Okay, then you have to understand your market at the beginning. Like, the most important thing is to set your goals, like to know what you expect from this journey, and then things are going to get much easier. So you can actually, pivot or navigate yourself to your target audience. So you will find them as soon as you know what you want to do and need to do. It's going to be much easier to find your actually target audience. And you also have to understand the trends and competition. Like, if you do search for what the average class price students are paying for example, in China, you can either undercut that, or that's also a legit thing to do, right? If it works for you still. Determine your value proposition. And I was thinking here about sorry for the typo here, identifying your unique selling points and focusing on the benefits. Like, I can't tell you how many times, like, because I am on the back end of Super Teacher, and as I mentioned, like, there are hundreds of teachers, and if you're somebody who is dealing with other teachers, I do have insight on some basics of every teacher's profile, and the intro video is one of them. We all tend to talk about ourselves. Me, I graduated, I have a diploma, I'm TESOL certified, I. And by the end, and this is my video as well, by the way, full transparency, it's not a critique, but I didn't know better, right? So if you do have a teacher portfolio or you use social media, talk about the students to sell yourself, right? That's a good point, because they want to hear about themselves. They just want to hear how you can help them and to recognize what they're struggling with. And this is connected to your target audience, right? We talked about it. And also consider perceived value. If you are a qualified teacher, or if your competencies can be intertwined with your class offer, then it's super cool and important and legit to mention them and put them forward to set you apart, as a teacher. Offer tiered pricing. This is like the most specific thing you can try right now. And it means to segment your offerings, to offer kind of entry level membership or class offer. We talked a little bit about it with, basics you can include in the class offer, and then build it up to your kind of premium, membership. Like, that should include learning resources, your availability. Like, you can even make yourself available maybe every day, or if they want to have a class in the peak time, that has to be a factor as well. Or maybe classes on the weekends. Why not? Everything works, right? It's up to you, because remember what we said before, do not assume, ask. Especially if you did teach with companies, I think it's even harder to get away, to get out from them, that mindset. We were so trained to, to just a certain way of doing things. And this was just one kind of universal offer to the students, right? And plus, we didn't have the chance to communicate with parents directly. So it was even harder to seal the deal, right? And provide flexible payment options. Just recently, there was a teacher friend saying, like, Ivy, this mom is great, but she is worried because she wants to buy 45 classes, but she's my new student and she doesn't know what to do if there is an earthquake or some unpredictable circumstances, like how are things going to play out, if I'm going to do refunds and everything. And I said, how about offering a monthly subscription or just a lower class? And the mom was delighted. Like, she was like, yeah, I would love to do that. And she first took, I think, 8 classes, and then the next package was already doubled or tripled, or yeah, right. But yeah, think about that as well. Do not be rigid. Like, I had my class packages were like 5% discount for 15 classes, only 15. So my lowest was 15 classes, 10% discount for 30 classes, and 15% discount for 45 classes. And that works, but you should be aware of when it works. Like, it works for my ex-company students because they know me already. There is a trust already built, right? But it doesn't work probably for newbies or students they recommend and refer to me, because like they should have one trial class and then buy 30 classes or 15 classes. Just think about that. So be sure to offer payment plans, to implement subscription models, and even to incentivize upfront payment or upsell. Like, if they first get 10 classes, next time you can say, oh, if you want to get a bigger package, I'm having a little promo, and include like a maybe one free class or just a coupon they can use for your other service, like maybe a self-paced course or something else, to combine the offer. Yeah, and I was just talking about combining different kind of services you might be offering to them, to add value. So this would be like bundled offers, right? Maybe like live classes plus homework review, or mm, basic class package plus one learning resource after class, or something like that, or limited time promotions. You should also communicate transparently to seal the deal. Like, do not wait, don't think about it too much. Like, just be straightforward, tell them their prices, tell them that you do have you can offer different kind of tiers. Be transparent and set clear expectations. Like, for this, if you pay for this program or package, you will get that and that. So just be clear with what they can expect, right? And of course, offer refunds. Do make sure to check the policies for your country on refunds, because you cannot just say like Katie and I were just discussing that the other day, and we were like, she said, but there are like country policies, and that you cannot just say I don't offer refunds if your country's laws and policies say for digital products you have to offer 60-day refund or something like that. If the class package or offer does not work, you see it's not working, of course, you can gather feedback from the current students. Maybe it's not too much, but maybe the frequency of them getting your services is not working for them. Or maybe, any part of it can be discussed and should be discussed so you can improve your offer. Okay, we mentioned a few times already, like the most important thing is where you want to get with your independent teaching business, and plan accordingly. Like, every other next step you're gonna be making is gonna be easier if you are clear about where you want to get. Do you want to teach full-time, part-time, just gain some experience? Do you want to develop your own company, maybe um, employ other teachers? Why not? Everything is legit. Refer students, do affiliate anything that can work for you. And of course, you should know your target audience. We also talked a little bit about that. Okay, there is a lot I prepared. Let me just check the comments. Katie says, uh, I've tried offering free tuition to get group classes open, but maybe I'm doing it wrong. Let's see, one-on-one has been really easy to book, but I really struggle with group classes. When I first started my business, I asked in a couple WeChat groups what the average student rate in Beijing was. Super smart, and started with a few of my former kindergartners before I left. I love that. That is super smart. You got it straight from the beginning, right? I love that. And can you please tell us more about like the group classes? You said I've tried offering free tuition to get group classes opened, but maybe I'm doing it wrong. One-on-one has been really easy to book. Are you talking about your current students? You offer them group sessions as well, or you were offering them on social media to get new leads? Like, what was the way you are using the group classes, promoting, and where are you promoting them? Thank you. This is a great insight. Like, I'm glad you're already exploring, the options outside of just offering one-on-one. As you just mentioned, like offering one-on-one classes can be easier. Maybe it's actually much easier to organize and all the back end work and to manage them is a lot easier because you just have one parent to deal with, right? How to sell one-on-one classes. So first, when there are different kinds of one-on-one classes, right? We have a trial class. Some teachers offer them for free, some at a discount to their regular class price. The recommendation, I think it's always like an open topic, but I've seen like the most of the time teachers say charge at least $1. So they show up. They're going to make sure to show up. They're going to go forward with, communicating with you. They're just going to not be a no show to you, because if the child class is free, usually they do not take it seriously. They have been offered like tons of child classes already, so why should this one be any different, right? But if you say if they were recommended by a friend or they're just coming as a totally completely new to you lead, still I would recommend, based on what I've seen works for the majority of teachers, is do offer a paid trial class with a little discount. And I also see it works really well if the trial class is like partially the teaching part and partially feedback or communicating with the parent, or just telling them in advance, I'm going to assess your student, your child, if it's a child. So I'm going to do an assessment and then kind of orientation, like I'm going to give you my offer, what I think we can work on and what outcomes we might achieve if you choose me to work with me. When offering a single class, make sure you offer it at your top price, and then use marketing strategies such as discounts on your top price class within class packages, or using coupons, but never offer them as discounted by default. It's not something that they just deserve because they reached out, right? They should know like your top price is that, but just for them you have to make it special, right? You say, okay, you can use this coupon within the next 3 days maybe, or a week, and if you do use it, it's going to be valid and you will get 10-15% of discount, right? So just make them feel like it's worth putting an effort and they have to follow, right? Then you can offer one-on-one classes as subscription. And I think going forward, that's going to be a better way going about selling classes, one-on-one classes, because of the global situation and everything. I've noticed like this trend, like parents do want to commit to less time so they can plan for their budget better. And this is a huge difference, at least with the Chinese market. I'm noticing that like parents buying smaller packages. Maybe it's just me, but I did talk to a few more teachers, like, and they all noticed that. So I wanted to share. Just be aware of that. Like when you do offer class packages, just think about also offering a monthly, maybe it doesn't have to be a subscription based plan, but it can be a small package, right? For example, monthly class credits or something like that. You can offer one-on-one classes within the hybrid model we mentioned before as live sessions plus self-paced material or practice activities. So that means you can upsell your one-on-one classes, right? It can be even more. Or you can just include 1 or 2 sessions a month and base your class offer on their independent learning. If they do have a parent who is maybe speaking English, or they just want to learn in their own time, I've seen teachers doing that as well. Like they just want to get assignments, like weekly assignments, and then have one class a week, or in 2 weeks, to just check in and to see where they are and to get corrections and everything. Katie says, I offer to both current students and enrich at moments with my warm leads. I love that. I talk about group classes to leads and they tell me they have no friends. Huh. Uh, Interesting. Hi, Allison. Allison says, I usually do a free meeting with the parents and kids to get a feel for everything. After that, they don't usually want a child, but just want to get started. Ooh, cool. I love that. With regular classes, even better. You see, that's because you're thinking outside of the box. And you do, I know for sure, like, you do not only teach ESL students, right? You also have, you're also teaching science or American students, if I'm correct. So you do have that experience. But for me, I was just teaching, ESL students, and it took a long to actually think about that and, just get out of that company box, provide a child class, make sure the child smiles, and blah, 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 everything that's expected in a company based child class, right? We just don't know. We just have no idea. So today, that was the goal. Like, just think about all the things you can do and offer and sell as an independent teacher. Um, so we talked about, yeah, we already shared these tips. Maybe the membership thing is something new. Yeah, example. Let me show you an example. If you do use Super Teacher, how you can combine your class offer. If you're new to Super Teacher, feel free to register for free. I'm just gonna share the link. There is a free forever plan, and you can just, yesterday I was talking to a teacher and she asked, like, how long can I stay on the free plan? You can stay on the free plan forever, and that means you can use Super Teacher for self-marketing for free forever, like, to begin with, build up your teacher page, kind of a portfolio, think about how you can market yourself, offer free classes on the platform, and as long as you're not earning from it, like, you can stay on the free plan forever. Here we go. So here is my demo account where you can see I have class packages, and I can offer paid classes and free classes. And let's say the student comes to my page and they're looking into my page, and they can see my single class price. This is my top class price. They can see the curriculum I offer, the class duration, and this is the price, right? So they can click and book class, or if they check the packages, this is how I actually um, lower my price. For example, for Abridge Academy Level 1 Unit 1 with 10 lessons, you see the class price is a little bit lower if they purchase 10 classes, right? If they want to get the whole semester, then there is an additional discount. Parents usually do the math, or you can just write like I did here, 5% discount for 10, 25-minute classes. But how to actually sell yourself is marketing, right? You just need to think about your class offer creatively, not to make it like a single choice thing, but to actually make it work for everybody. Because I'm not logged in, you can see, but here should be a coupon that on Super Teacher you can also use coupons to share with specific students so they can actually use them. And you can even name them, by the student's name, and personalize them to be even more attractive. Okay, so that's how you can offer a single class price with Super Teacher, all features combined. Group classes can be used in many ways. Just recently, I did a whole webinar on that. I should grab the link and share it in the comments below. I will after. I didn't prepare it. But yes, basically think about offering group classes. As Katie just mentioned, she said she was offering them for free to, to get the warm leads in, but the parents still said, like, they don't have friends, right? But still, do not give up on that. Like, I think group classes are great to not just offer to our circle of friends and students, but just on social media. You never know who's gonna see the value in them, and if they're for free, I mean, even better. Like, for them to just register at least and show up and have the experience. They can also be a good student onboarding strategy if you do want to just attract new students and then offer one-on-one classes, or just create a small group. They're cost effective and they open up the door to increase revenue, right? But they do require more logistics. They can be very demanding on the logistics. So make sure you do have a system like SuperTeacher or similar to handle the possible, student flow and registration and notifications and everything, which is what you get with SuperTeacher. You can offer them as one-time events, ongoing groups. They can be topic-based, program-based, semester-based. This is just to give you ideas like on how and what you can actually sell as a group class. Oh, sorry, I went back. And it depends on your goals. As Katie said before, like she would like to grow her student base and actually teach group classes, right? So for you, it's not just gathering leads and onboarding them for one-on-one teaching, but actually creating groups. I would share a tip of the best tip I've ever heard about group classes and how to create them actually and manage them easily is from Katie from Abridge Academy, and she's doing group classes. As she's using them as a strategy when students say they can't afford her one-on-one class, for example, and she would let that student manage the whole group. She would say like, okay, if you do have a friend or two or three, you can make the group. I'm going to offer you the class at a lower price or whatever she decides, and then that student is in charge of collecting payments, making the payments, making sure everybody's going to show up and so on. Because managing group classes can be hard if we're doing it on our own, right? Maybe that's the thing. Maybe once they're like, there is someone really interested and has a friend or a family member who is in for it, that's going to be enough to start growing your group class. I'm pretty sure. And I'm just about to, jump into offering group classes as well. So I'm going to be sure to share back. Katie also says, I get other excuses too. Some parents say they fear the children will speak too much Chinese or play too much too. They fear in advance, right? Interesting. Um, uh, Allison says, I always tell the parents I want to make sure we're a good fit so they don't waste their money. I love that. Oh my goodness, this is awesome. Thank you for that. I'm going to take a note of that. This is a super cool tip. Katie says, this strategy has worked really well for me. Yeah, the one we just talked about, like, this is brilliant because it's a win-win for everybody, right? Katie also says, I use the same strategy as Katie Prescott, but that's when I get the excuses. Okay. Okay, yeah. If anybody else, if you do have some tips on that, like feel free to share in the comments. Yeah. I think for them it would be just enough to I'm not sure about the way you're offering. Are you just messaging them or sharing in your moments? Like, do you create a little flyer or maybe something like an info page about the group classes? Maybe it would be good to create a little something for the parents to share. I think it would be enough to begin with to just ask them to share on their social media with their circles, and make sure to include the QR code on this little info flyer or image so other parents can actually add you. I think they don't have to really think about if they want to join or not. It's going to be enough for them to share within their circles, right? Maybe. I hope that can help and work for you, Katie. Okay, too many details about group classes. Here are some details. I just wanted to show you what you can do with SuperTeacher, for example. These are examples for one-time events. For example, Science Club, free to join, on May 10th. So you can limit it. You can limit with SuperTeacher. You can even limit the number of students that are going to join. They get email notifications right before the the event, the class, and you can add your own classroom link, and they also get via email. For example, I did offer this one New Year special Santa's workshop, And kids learned to write a letter to Santa last year. That was so cool. Teach Ivy's reading corner, where they can just experience a reading session in a small group. Easter special, Easter bunnies workshop. Just some ideas. Like you can follow on the significant dates. Like holidays or their maybe birthdays, anything that you find valuable when parents are or students are generally more susceptible to spend more money, right? Okay, here are some topic-based group classes. Again, science club. Oh, what did I do? Oh, the same screenshots here. Okay. Yeah, but here these are like ongoing. So in the description, I would say like this is an ongoing group meeting every Saturday or twice a week, and by paying this amount, they get this many sessions and so on. I just wanted to show you what you can do on Super Teacher with it. You can offer program-based group classes, which is something I'm going to be offering. Oh, by the way, Allison, I didn't reply to your previous email. The student I was about to have a debating class with, they postponed to the summer holiday because the parents want to focus on her writing at the moment. So we're working on her writing. I'm using the writing course. But the debating one-on-one is we're going to do it in a month or so. I'm going to let you know. I won't forget. So this is a good example of how you can actually use program-based group classes. I think they're a great idea. Katie, I'm not sure what you have offered. Like, can you share a little bit more in the comments? Like, what kind of group class did you offer? Like, maybe the parents would see more value in it if you do put out a name like Abridge Academy, which is Chinese and UK company together. And I mean, they will get, all the lesson previews. It's very, like, it has everything that a parent would need, like learning outcomes and, homework activities and practice and everything. Um, Allison says, I with your one-off or topic-based classes, are these for your ESL kiddos? Yeah, I just didn't do the science one. This one I just created like just to demo to show. But yes, yeah, and this is something I just created. So mind you, I'm not still teaching them, but I'm gonna be offering them because there was an interest. Like I do have two students interested, and they are friends. They do want to have one-on-one classes plus take a group class at least once a week. Yeah, debating things. Yes, sure. Alison says, I found a kid on Redbook who presents debating for. Oh, cool. Kudos to you. That's awesome. Katie says, I usually offer group classes when parents tell me that the one-on-one class is too expensive for them. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's a good strategy. I mean, sometimes they're just not honest, They just try to avoid, maybe they're just window shoppers. That's totally possible as well, right? You never know. But it's the best strategy you can try, most definitely. Okay, I'm gonna speed up a little bit. Sorry, we're already like over time. Just to mention, we can also, yeah, we talked about selling programs such as Average Academy based mini program you can create, like debating one-on-one, my favorite, because it already adds value. It's topic based. It offers clear progress. Students are most definitely willing to pay more because it's niche. It's a specific skill they kind of gain, and it's niche down, and it's great for scaling up and standing out from the crowd, and even for upselling to our regular students, be it as a group class or maybe even one-on-one, right? But a program-based is something different than general English if you're an English teacher. Just make sure you know that class-based offers, meaning the number of classes like I did, 5% discount, 10% discount, and so on, is good for known clients like our ex-company students, family, and friends. And it's much easier to get us started teaching online that way. But for somebody, think about the lead, somebody who is new to you, and they just kind of end up to your teaching page, and then they see you offer, like me, I offer, like if you look into my teacher page, it says minus 5% for 15 classes, 10, 15, nothing, zero info. This is bad. If I am about to grow my student base, it's not informative at all. It's just about the discounts, but what else do I say? There is no value added, there is no outcomes mentioned, program the student is going to finish. It just sounds much better if I say Abridge Academy level one. The parent knows, even without asking me, if they pay for that package, their child or the student, a grown up, no, it doesn't matter, is going to finish a level one of a certain curriculum, right? Okay, and just to mention, self-paced courses, if you're thinking about offering them, I'm also going to link our last week's webinar, which I was a guest, Katie from Age Academy hosted me. We talked about self-paced courses, and they're so good to just, opening the door to some passive income and resell endlessly and just reach students in incompatible time zones, use it as a lead magnet. And they're also a great lead magnet or low ticket offer to then upsell live programs, right? And to add value to our class offer. Okay, I'm gonna skip these tips. Maybe we can just look into them, like how the way we can build safe paced courses. It's just the best to watch the replay. I'm gonna link below. And speaking about diversifying your class offer, you also have to think about the infrastructure, right? How are you gonna be doing self-marketing? As Katie mentioned, if you're after Chinese market, use WeChat, use Xiaohongshu, get into those groups like WeChat and Xiaohongshu that Katie is leading. It's full of free useful tips and boot camps and whatnot. Like, just get into the teachers community and make sure to, explore on yourself as well. Think about how you can onboard students, because this is also part of the sales process, right? It's not just about them reaching out and then, if the price is good or not, but the whole experience. Like, do they have to struggle entering class? How are they gonna pay? Can they see their previous transactions? Can they receive, and how they can receive lesson material and class links? What's your policies, booking limits? Can they reschedule class independently, or they have to wait for you for everything, and so on? And if you are looking for an easy solution, like all the admin to be taken care of for you, then check out Super Teacher, because you can have your students do everything independently, so you can have the same experience from the X companies, just show up and teach, but still have full flexibility and independence in who you teach and how much you charge and everything. You can offer all of these kinds of class offers with Super Teacher. And at the moment, it's still only $9 a month with zero commission on payments. You just have the third-party processing fees like Stripe and Wise. And if you do stay on the free plan, you can use it for self-marketing, building up your teacher page, onboarding your students, trying it out for free. And once you do start earning, there is a 10% commission if you're on a free plan, or you can just subscribe at any point. Okay, this is too much. Sorry. Wow, we're way over time. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, wow, super cool. More comments. I love that. Katie says, I'm also currently promoting on my widget moments a special Mother's Day. Ooh, cool. Reading and creativity class. For one-time classes, I promote on moments. So on the moments, only your current friends, like widget friends, can see them. At that point, I would just ask those I have in my friends list. I would just ask them to share it, send it into their messenger, like message them with the flyer, and ask the parents to just share, not to sign up. You just want to use them as referrers. I think that's maybe gonna prompt them, and you can say, if somebody signs up using your, telling me that you refer them, I'm going to give your child a free class or something like that. That usually works. But yeah, I wouldn't expect, if they are already stating they don't have friends who would register or something like that, yeah, just let them be. But still, you can use them to your advantage to just share the info, because I'm sure their social circles on WeChats are way broader than yours or mine, right? Katie says, I find that debating works particularly well in groups, and parents can see the benefit of a group for this. Yeah, I can't wait. I do have students for that, but they're either taking a pause, like now it's the Labor Day holiday, or waiting for the summer one. I think summer is going to be perfect time for the groups. The key benefit of a program is there is a clear end goal, right? So students know exactly what they will achieve exactly. And the beauty of that is you can also tailor make, I mean, you can just follow that end goal and structure and put it into your class offer. So at the same time, you seem to be much more, professional and, skilled because you are following the program, and that means it's going to be easy for you, but for parents it's going to be totally a different story. Way better offer for sure than just 5% discount like I do. I was never very good at debate class. Oh. Plus you package and order things so they are not just thinking in price per hour. Exactly, that's like a big no. Hi Mel, thank you for tuning in at least now. Okay, I think it's a good time to wrap it up here. If you do want to discuss further, we can just hop into super teacher training, which was about to start like a few minutes ago. Yes, we can just switch there if you do want to discuss further on the topic. Thank you so much for coming today. Thank you, Jay and Katie and Mel and Katie and Allison, everyone watching. And if you're just watching the replay, then you're gonna check out the links below, and I'm gonna add, and make sure to subscribe to Super Teacher's YouTube channel as well to stay tuned into all the upcoming lives and free events. Sorry. I hope this was useful. I hope it sparkled, at least it sparkled the conversation for sure. There are a lot of things to consider, but yeah, maybe the takeaway would be think about where you want to get with this, be real with what you want to offer and achieve, and then start from there. Yeah, and think about, yeah, always diversifying, not putting all your eggs in one basket for sure, and just explore more than 25-minute one-on-one class option because there is much more to it to become even more successful, right? As an independent teacher. Okay, see you there if you do join me. If not, I'm going to see you next week. Thank you everyone for coming, and yeah, have a lovely day ahead or evening. Bye for now. Oh, let me share the link. Sorry. You can tune in here if you do want to chat more. Let me just grab the link. Okay. Sorry. Okay, this one. Right, please share this link. Okay. Thank you. See you there. Thanks, Alice.